I think, give UMass Lowell a lot of credit. I think they, in some ways we probably benefited from them playing on Friday night, but anytime a guy scores 51, it's a major concern for you. And I give our guys a lot of credit. I thought they attacked the defensive game plan with good urgency and appropriate urgency for sure, particularly on 23 and 11. And 12's a really good player, local guy here from Grove City. So we wish them well here moving forward. Obviously, quick turnaround here. We need to find a way to get some rest and get better tomorrow.
Yeah, Chris, how valuable was it playing a game like this and be able to play those freshmen double figures in minutes and let them play through their mistakes and all that?
Yeah, I think that's important, and you don't ever schedule a game with that in mind, but you do try to put your schedule together in a way where you understand that you can't play teams like Cincinnati every night until you get in league play. And I think we need to continue to have those guys contribute in a lot of ways and play through mistakes and coach them through mistakes, and they've got to continue to embrace getting better.
And Carton, just his demeanor, he's almost like a quarterback who's not really demonstrative. He lets the other guys do the celebrating, but he's just so grounded. What about that fact for him?
Yeah, I think he's an emotional player, which I love about him, actually. He's an emotional player, but I think he's also trying to understand, the point guard position at this level and playing it. And he's got a good feel for the game. He's going to go through ups and downs for sure, and I think that's part of it. He's got an understanding that he is going to go through ups and downs, but he's had a good start.
Can you talk about the added elements he brings to the transition game? Because it really felt like he was able to push the ball forward.
Yeah, I've never coached a guy with his burst. He's got the best 0 to 60 I've coached, that can be a game changer. Sometimes it can get ahead of you, and you can get to playing too fast. But we love that about him when we recruited him. And he enjoys getting other guys involved too.
He also said that he started to feel a little more comfortable here through 2 games and did was 4 assists to 1 turnover tonight. Is that something you echo? His comfort level. Have you seen his?
Do we have
comfort
stats
level grow?
Dan up here? Thank you. Yeah, I think that's important. We've really been on our guys about our ball handling, taking care of the ball better. Both of our point guards struggled a little bit last game with that. So that's going to be, listen, he's a freshman. That's going to be, CJ's also learning our system. He's going to have to live through some ups and downs with that. But I think if his intent is in the right place, and that is to make the right basketball play and learn from his mistakes, he'll take major strides there.
I just wonder, maybe going off that a little bit, what you thought of CJ these first 2 games. I know you mentioned that in the exhibition you thought he was wound up a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if you've seen that carry over at all through the first 2 games of this year. It just seems like you have to pull him out sometimes because he's doing some things that you wouldn't expect from a 4th-year guy.
Foul trouble, I think he's so eager. Defensively, I think he's put himself in some trouble offensively or defensively with fouls. That's been the main reason. His intent, his heart's in a good place. I think he's going to have to. I told him yesterday or 2 days ago that there's always rust when you're sitting out for a year, and that's going to take some time. That's been my experience, that there's some rust with guys when they sit out a year.
And
but I thought he did some really good things.
It seems like through these 2 games, and I know it's only 2 games, that CJ looks maybe most comfortable out there when he's on the floor with DJ. And I know you can't just play them together all the time because they're also each other's backup point guard. But I don't know if have you felt that at all through these 2 games that I don't know, CJ's looked a little more into it when they're both out there together.
I don't know if I've noticed that, but I do think they enjoy playing together. I do think that. And maybe that's kind of what we're noticing. I do think they enjoy playing together. We played 2 point guards a lot, but I do think they enjoy playing together. I also thought Luther and Dwayne did some good things today in terms of playing, playing the right way, moving and sharing the ball, playing the right way. And that's got to be a consistent theme for us.
You mentioned playing the right way. Coach Duquette mentioned in regards to Caleb, trying to get the ball out of his hands, but he always made the right basketball play. I know this is nothing new because you've coached leagues, done that, but can you just speak of that part of this game and how important that is?
It's tremendous. I just think the way he's playing the game right now is tremendous. When you're as talented as he is and used to scoring the ball, right? Guys can get thirsty, they can force things, they can play out of character. He's mature enough to understand that's not the right way to play. And I said I thought the Cincinnati game was as complete a game as I've ever seen him play, and he had 11 or 12 points. But I think people watch that and they're like, "Whoa, Caleb Wesson is getting he's a really good player." Like people that know the game, they just appreciate how he changes things on both ends. So he's got to keep doing that. He's been played really unselfish and led in a good way.
Yeah, 5 assists, which
Yeah.
he's done before, but how valuable is that when you have a big man in capacity?
It's a great luxury to have. We've worked a lot on post traps. I think he was disappointed with his overall numbers. Now, they didn't have the size we're going to see in post trap situations. But it was good. It was good to see somebody's FaceTiming here during my press conference. Appreciate that. It was good to see. Okay, it was good to see. I like his demeanor and approach right now. I think it's in a really good place.
Along those lines, it seems like you don't have to force it to him. You don't have to lean on him as much as he had to really carry you in some ways last season. Are you already only through 2 games starting to see some of that you don't? He's obviously a very important offensive player, but you have other weapons besides him.
Yeah, I think throughout the season we'll hopefully you can't be as dependent as we were last year. I don't think and be really a really good team, and he understands that. Having said that, he's so important, and right now I think we see when he comes out of the lineup, we're still too young, I think, and still growing into roles where he's still very, very critical to us.
Right.
If he were to get into foul trouble, it really impacts us. I think as the season goes, hopefully, if we can grow as a group, and that's sophomores, freshmen, hopefully we'll get to that point. But right now, I think we're still highly, highly dependent upon him, and that's not a bad thing. I'm just saying, I think we got to continue to grow as a group.
And how do you think collectively you responded to having to replace a guy like Andre who ties your defense together like he does? What was he like, I guess, during the game and huddles and things like that? And how did you feel as a team you were able to compensate for his loss?
Great. I thought they did a really good job with that. As I mentioned yesterday or the day before, I'm just sick for him. I just hate to see a senior miss a game, but it happens. But I just hate it for him and would love to have him out there. But I thought our guys rallied and responded.
The other guy scored 51 points on Friday, and then he comes in here, he has 9 on 4 of 12 shooting. I think Luther was probably the main guy on him, just speaks to the job Luther did today.
I think he really took the assignment. He and Dwayne with 23 and 11, I think they took it as, they understood, we showed them a lot of those clips. They understood how capable he was, and I thought they took great ownership in that. It was critical. It was critical. You got to make a guy like that earn it, come back and earn it. If he gets into a rhythm early, it can be a long night.
Defense creating offense is an obvious thing in basketball, but with Luther, even last year, it just seemed like it's something that's really important with him. When he's locked in defensively, his offense seems to also click.
Yeah. I thought it's exactly right. It clicked, and he made really good decisions with the ball tonight in a lot of ways. Really good decisions. I think 3 assists, 2 turnovers, so plus again. You're proud of him with that.
And then with Alonzo, his 10 points, 8 rebounds, but he also has 4 turnovers. Is that been the roller coaster with him all offseason, basically?
Yeah, Yeah, he's gotta make better decisions, take better care of the ball. We've noticed it for a month and a half now, and it's a lot of freshmen go through that. But we've gotta figure out either to put them in different positions or, but it's been a little bit of an issue that we gotta continue to work through.
It's only been 2 games, but we went 7 minutes without a field goal the first game and over 3 today.
Yeah.
And even more beyond that, like 0 of 6 to start the game at the free throw line. I think I heard you yell out to whoever missed one, next play, just
Yeah.
stay with the program. What can you do? Is it psychological, is it mental, or just, it's only 2 games, but.
Yeah, no, I don't think that we're an offensive juggernaut right now by any stretch. And that sounds like stating the obvious, Mr. Obvious here, but we're not there yet. We're just not there yet. And, I'd like to say we are, but we're not. I think we're gonna have scoring droughts. The free throws, I take a lot of blame for that. We just have to be more deliberate about our practice of free throws. That's I take a lot of blame for that.
And you did play one high-powered opponent already in Cincinnati, and to have another one coming so quickly up here, and one that's got the pedigree
Yeah.
that they have and the tradition of winning games
Yeah.
like this. Just what is your thought going into that? You won't know whether you're ready for it until after the game's probably played, but does having played Cincinnati, where they played Army, does that help you, I guess? Or could?
Yeah, do they play anybody between Army?
No, Army was their only game so far.
Goodness gracious.
They're gonna be rested and ready.
Yeah, it's good to give Jay a few more days to prepare. Guy that's won 2 national championships in the last 5 years. I don't know yet. It's a different team that we're playing. They play very differently than Cincinnati. I'll say this when we meet. Villanova's a blue blood program, and it's I think Jay's top 2 or 3 coach in the country. So they've got fantastic players, great culture, great system. It's going to be a great challenge.
Both of your first 2 opponents shot under 35%. Both of them had more turnovers than they had assists. I know probably attribute some of that to just early season stuff, but how do you think you guys have defended overall through these first 2 games?
Pretty good. I think they've taken the game plan that we went into each game with, because we've had to adapt a little bit. Both teams ran some similar stuff, obviously with different players, but we had to adapt a little bit. I thought our guys have had good attention to detail. Their effort has been good. I was disappointed with our defensive rebounding in the prior game. I thought we were a little more intentional about that. And I think we have to be good defensively. And obviously we have to improve offensively, but that's got to be a constant for us. But I've been fairly pleased.
You had three guys dive on the floor, including Caleb, and the players you mentioned that I don't know if it was you or someone else at halftime that mentioned effort picking that up. Specifically in the second half, where did you see the effort? And also, is there some sort of contagious effect between the first guy diving for a ball and then just getting it rolling?
Yeah, I think you're just constantly trying to talk about playing to a standard, and the elite teams do that. It's building habits. So our habits have to be formed in every practice and every game, and we did not feel like our effort was quite where it needed to be, and Coach T mentioned that to him at halftime. And I didn't feel like so we talked about that with them, but I thought we had, again, stretches in the second half where it was great.
We've talked for now about a year about Dwayne and his defense and where that is. I think there was a possession, I think it was when he was called for the flopping violation.
Mm-hmm.
I just thought he had pretty good defense, it seemed like, and he recovered well from that. From today, where is he as a defender compared to where he's been in the past year, and where does he need to get to?
Growing, getting better. He's capable because he's got pretty good feet and decent length. He's undersized now with kind of where we're playing him on the wing, but I think he's getting there. It's always, with any guy, it's always a 1-2, and I think his 1-2 is pretty good right now.
As you've said in so many different ways, there's going to be a lot of growth
Yeah.
as you go forward here. You're going to have a team that looks maybe a lot different, or is playing differently than you played against Cincinnati, for instance. Are you curious as to what you're going to see against Villanova?
Sure.
In terms of where you are right now?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think that's why you want to play games like that early. Yeah, I mean, I think curious, you just don't know. Like, I can't sit here and tell you, I know exactly how we're gonna respond with the positions that group puts you in, and I'll study them tonight, but I know in playing his teams, they put you in tremendous situations offensively and defensively. So I think I am curious to see how we respond to that. You know, it'll be a great challenge.
Okay, all right.
All right, thanks, guys.